How are you doing today, Nigel?
I'm doing well. Really excited to be here.
Good, me too. I'm Kelsey from the Cheat Sheet, Showbiz Cheat Sheet, and I'm
Pleasure,
excited to talk to you.
pleasure. Looking forward to this.
Okay, so let's get started. What has your life been like since being on the show?
Since being on the show, so there was this dead period, right, where we were all like excited and anticipating that the show would come out at some point, right? And then out of nowhere, you get a message that the show has come out. What's been most interesting is that so many people have reached out that I've grown up with, right? So you think about misconnections, whether it's elementary, middle school, high school, or even college, right? People have reached out and they said, "Hey, that's my friend," or they were on, the Amazon Prime website or channel, and the trailer popped up. They said, "I think I know you." And they started to reach out. So it was the coolest thing ever.
That's fine. Why did they reach out? Just to like reconnect or try to get in on that
You know
sweet
what?
Prime TV fame?
So there have been some interesting messages, right? So there have been actually quite a few messages of people that have watched the show with their husband. Not from my past life, but they've watched with their husband and they say, "You know what? I'm really rethinking my relationship with my husband. Did things work out with you and the person that you left the show with?" So yeah,
Wow.
it's been very interesting.
So you have people rethinking their marriages, maybe like flipping through old yearbooks and being like, did I miss an opportunity with someone?
I've been told that they were the one that got away in my life quite a few times. That's for sure.
Oh, what people are bold. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You would be shocked. I mean, paragraphs of messages of people that they've convinced themselves of something that's just not true.
Okay. Apparently you have that effect on people. So one of your main connections for a long time in the show was with Alicia. And
Yeah.
then it kind of seemed like almost out of nowhere to the viewer towards the end that like a switch turned off and all of a sudden you both realized like, oh, maybe you aren't my person. Can you go into like what changed for you in that relationship?
Yes, I think when it comes down to Alicia, what's most interesting is that each date that we've had, at the conclusion of the date, you really start like her star, her really good sides really just start to shine. So I felt myself really missing Alicia. I was really like driven and really just pulled and gravitating toward her and her energy. However, once Desi came, it was really difficult for me to choose the one that was familiar versus the one that I'm getting to know. Familiarity really just pulled me into Desi.
Yeah. And I believe your mom brought that up. She said in one of her one-on-one interviews, like, this is the shiny new thing, or do you want to work on something that's already established? And you did tell Alicia right off the bat that you were a mama's boy to the core. Those were your words. So watching that infamous scene of you, Alicia, and your mom, and then watching Alicia's perspective in those one-on-one interviews, what did you think of all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think my mom had a lot to say, right? So, I mean, I think if we think, if we think back to that moment, that was a really special moment. I think Alicia's character really shined because I don't know if I have the ability to really, sit in that seat that she sat in, right? And I think that as a mom and a mama's boy, I really do love my mom, right? And I think that my mom has and always will have my best interests at heart. So just being able to share that moment with her was really the most precious moment of even being on the show.
Yeah. Does your mom make a habit of rating the women that you date? Is that a normal thing?
She has an opinion usually, but I mean that she was in rare form. I'll say that for sure.
She was a star. She stood out. She was an icon.
She was born for the moment, needless to
Exactly.
say.
So watching the season back, was there anything that you saw in like other people's love stories or stuff that went on at the other house that surprised you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me was everyone has an interesting journey, and I mean that's such as life, right? But I think that a lot of the love story that was told from some of the different leads, as well as the attraction that we saw from some of the people that arrived to date the leads, it was really just a joy and a pleasure to see how much they've grown, and I guess the stories and conversations that I've heard from being, amongst my peers versus what's going on in the other house and how that all came together. I mean, I think that each and every person had a very interesting journey.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of one drama bit in particular, the Ashley drama when she didn't like Eureka talking to someone other than Vince. I know you weren't involved in that, but watching that back, do you have an opinion on it?
So what's interesting? So I was told that I was involved. So I was actually, and this was a really, really different perspective than I was used to. So what I was told is, because I sent Sarah home, Eureka cried, and because Eureka cried, then the person that was comforting Eureka was, there. So it was actually my fault that Ashley's meltdown happened. So I thought that was a very interesting perspective, because I didn't see it that way, but hey, maybe.
Okay, so you're the cause of the drama then.
I'm used to that, so that's fine.
So I have to ask the question on everyone's mind.
Okay.
Where do things stand with you and Desi right now?
Yeah, I mean, Desi's an amazing person. She has made me happy. She makes me happy. Where things stand, only time will tell.
Ooh, okay. I guess we'll have to see. Have you spoken to any of your other suitors?
Yeah, I've spoken to everyone. Yeah, I really wanted to thank them for making a sacrifice, and really just, I don't know if they were, actively talking to someone, because I mean, the process as a whole, to even have the opportunity to be on the show, so I just really wanted to thank them for just being stand-up people and giving me the opportunity to get to know them at a deeper level. Alicia, especially, being, her toughness, her grittiness, her ability to smile, her ability to really just show that she can make it through any situation. I wanted to thank her the most out of everyone, and I thought that it was a really, really fun experience to grow as an individual, but also grow with others throughout the process.
Good. Yeah. So it seems like you're on good terms with all the people who came to see you.
100%. Yeah, we could actually go have a drink or have dinner, and it would be totally fine.
That's great.
Well, I mean, that is if my significant other is okay with it.
Oh, okay. So there's a significant other.
Potentially.
Potentially. So you had a great quote in the show that stood out to me about knowing when in life to figuratively close the portal. And I took that to mean as like, when it's time to settle down and focus on one person. So how has going on this show changed dating for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think this show has changed dating drastically. The reason being is, I understand how to be a little more intentional. I understand how to be a little more caring. I understand how to communicate, right? I mean, I think one of the hardest things that I had to do outside of date multiple women at the same time, one of the hardest things that I had to do was send someone home. Right? You don't know what's behind the portal. You don't know what the portal is going to give you. But at the same time, when you're trying to choose yourself, when you're trying to find love, you have to be intentional. And being intentional for me was letting someone know that has been a part, of my life in, various stages, but letting them know that they aren't the person that I want to continue to love or continue to be with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I liked getting a little peek at how other people handle like breakups or like telling people they need to go. It's just interesting to see how other people do that.
It's never easy. I can tell you that for sure. It's never easy. Regardless if, you've known the person for 3 months or if you've known the person for 3 years, it gets harder and harder because I'm the type of person that sees the good in the people that have, made sacrifices or spend time with. So when you see all these good things, when you have a combination of experiences and memories, it can be really, really tough to make someone, in some instances, feel like they're just not good enough for you or they're not a part of your future journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, that came through the care that you took into each goodbye you had.
No, thank you.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you, but do you have anything else you want to add you wish people who watch the show knew about you?
Yeah, I mean, I would say less about me, but more about them. I think that they should look, anyone that has watched the show should really look internally. You should look in the mirror, whether it's, looking at your yearbook or looking at your Facebook, looking at your, Instagram, and really just take the time to just spend time with people that care about you or people that you feel like that you may have cared about, but you haven't had an actual moment to share stories or to pick up, to really just, share a moment with that person. You'd be shocked at some of the different memories that you've created with the person. You'd be shocked at how they saw you at that point in your life and how much you've grown from that point to today.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's an option.
You just never know.
Yeah.